Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the issue that has left fans buzzing with excitement and curiosity in Pavey's official return to General Hospital as Nathan West. After years of speculation and endless hopes from viewers, the news has finally been confirmed. Nathan, who was long believed to have been killed in one of the most heartbreaking moments in Port Charles history, is alive. His comeback promises to deliver a wave of dramatic storylines that tie together the past, the present, and the uncertain future of some of the show's most beloved characters. For longtime fans, the memory of Nathan's supposed death remains vivid. He was tragically shot by his biological father, Caesar Faison, during a harrowing confrontation. At the time, Nathan's wife, Maxie Jones, was left devastated, grieving the man she thought she would spend the rest of her life with. His funeral was one of the most emotional episodes in recent memory, and viewers watched as Maxie struggled to pick up the pieces while raising their child and moving forward. For years, it was widely accepted that Nathan's death was final, leaving fans to mourn along with Maxie. But as soap operas often remind us, no one is ever truly gone forever in Port Charles. Now, years later, Maxie's life is once again spiraling into turmoil. She recently became the target of a dangerous scheme involving a toxic cosmetic product, part of a larger plot orchestrated by Sidwell, a man with deep ties to corruption and criminal networks. Maxie had gotten too close to exposing Sidwell's secrets, and as a result, she was poisoned through one of his products. The toxin spread quickly, leaving her body weak and her life hanging by a thread. Despite the doctor's efforts, Maxie fell into a coma, and her family was left clinging to hope while fearing the worst. As fate would have it, this is the moment Nathan re-enters the picture. The truth is that Nathan never truly died the night Faison pulled the trigger. In a shocking twist, WSB agents had intervened, whisking Nathan away and faking his death to protect him. Recognizing his skills as a police detective, they recruited him into their ranks. Over the years, Nathan proved to be a formidable operative, excelling in espionage and covert missions. His loyalty to the organization and his remarkable ability to complete high-risk assignments made him one of their most valuable agents. Yet despite his success, Nathan always carried the weight of his past, particularly the love he left behind in Port Charles. When Nathan learns that Maxie's life is in grave danger, his priorities shift instantly. His years with the WSB may have turned him into a skilled agent, but deep down, he is still the man who once loved Maxie with all his heart, determined to save her. Nathan hatches a daring plan to infiltrate the hospital where she lies unconscious. Using his training and experience, he disguises himself as a doctor, donning a surgical mask and gown to avoid recognition. His every move is precise, his mission clear: deliver the antidote that could save Maxie's life without exposing his own identity too soon. The antidote Nathan carries is no ordinary medicine. It is an advanced serum developed in secret by WSB scientists, designed to counteract nearly any toxin by neutralizing its effects at the cellular level. This experimental treatment has never been released to the public, and in many ways, Maxie's case becomes its ultimate test. Nathan slips into her room quietly, the rhythmic hum of the machines surrounding her filling the silence. He takes her hand for just a moment, overwhelmed with emotion, before steadying himself to complete the mission. With practiced precision, he injects the serum into her feline, watching as the solution begins to work its way through her system. Nathan cannot stay to witness the results. To reveal himself now would put Maxie, their family, and even the town of Port Charles in danger. The WSB's rules are strict, and Nathan knows he is risking everything by coming back. After completing the injection, he steals one last glance at Maxie, whispers a quiet promise under his breath, and disappears as quickly as he came. Hours later, the antidote begins to take effect. Maxie stirs for the first time in days, her breathing steadies, and color returns to her face. Doctors and loved ones rejoice as she awakens, unaware that it was Nathan who made her recovery possible. The questions now are endless. How long will Nathan be able to keep his presence in Port Charles a secret? When will Maxie discover the truth about the man who saved her? And how will she react when she realizes her husband's love of her life is not only alive, but has been living in the shadows as a WSB operative? The emotional impact of such a revelation will be enormous, especially given the years of grief she endured after his death. At the same time, Nathan's return spells major trouble for Sidwell. Maxie's recovery threatens to expose Sidwell's entire operation, and Nathan will undoubtedly make it his mission to bring him down. With his training, his determination, and his renewed sense of purpose. Nathan could become the key figure in dismantling Sidwell's empire once and for all. Yet this path is not without danger. Sidwell is ruthless, and if he learns that Nathan is alive, he will stop at nothing to eliminate him permanently. Beyond the immediate threat, Nathan's return also has implications for his relationships with other residents of Port Charles. How will his family react when they learn the truth? His reunion with Maxie promises to be one of the most emotional moments in General Hospital history. But it will also raise difficult questions. Why did he stay away for so long? Why didn't he find a way to reach out to her or their child? And will Maxie be able to forgive him for the years of pain his absence caused? Meanwhile, fans can expect ripple effects throughout the canvas. The news of Nathan's survival will shock the town, forcing everyone to reevaluate their understanding of the past. His ties to Faison, his years with the WSB, and his sudden reappearance will spark countless storylines, intertwining espionage, romance, betrayal, and redemption. In the end, Nathan's return is more than just the resurrection of a beloved character. It is a chance for General Hospital to explore themes of love, loss, sacrifice, and the lengths people go to for the ones they cherish most. With Ryan Pavey stepping back into the role, viewers can anticipate an unforgettable chapter filled with suspense and emotion. Stay tuned to ABC General Hospital spoilers for all the latest updates as Nathan's journey unfolds, as Port Charles braces itself for the shockwaves of his return, and as Maxie's fate takes a dramatic new turn with the man she thought she lost forever, walking once again among the living. Next, we will explore the heart-wrenching dilemma gripping Cody Bell as he grapples with a burning urge to spill his deepest secrets, torn between the women who've captured his heart and the deceptions that could destroy it all. In the dramatic underbelly of Port Charles, deep in the midst of his internal turmoil, Cody Bell finds himself at a pivotal crossroads, previews suggesting he's on the verge of bearing his soul through a long-overdue confession. But the big mystery swirling among fans is exactly who he's agonizing over: deceiving Gava Jerome, the enigmatic gallery owner with a sharp edge, or Molly Lansing Davis, the bright legal mind who's been pulling at his heartstrings. Perhaps it's both, as Cody's web of lies has entangled him in ways he never imagined, inventing a fresh twist. Maybe a sleepless night spent staring at old photos of his rodeo days reminds him of the honest life he once led, amplifying his guilt and pushing him toward truth-telling before it consumes him entirely. Cody's been masterfully juggling half-truths with Molly, feeding her just enough excuses to keep her close, while his genuine emotions for her deepen with every shared glance and quiet conversation. At the same time, he's been pocketing hefty checks from Christina Corinthos Davis to pull off a calculated ruse against Ava, seducing her as part of a vengeful plot, only to discover real affection blooming amid the charade. This dual deception has left him questioning if he can untangle the mess without everything crumbling. Adding a creative element, perhaps Cody rehearses his confession in front of a mirror, stumbling over words as he imagines Molly's disappointed eyes or Ava's fiery retaliation, highlighting the emotional tightrope he's walking. Has Cody unwittingly fallen head over heels for both of these captivating women, while executing his schemes with such convincing flair? The lines between pretense and passion have blurred, turning what started as a job into a genuine romantic quagmire. Fans are buzzing that his predicament might force him to choose, but the heart doesn't always follow logic in Port Charles. To expand with an invented detail, envision Cody doodling sketches of both women during a quiet moment at the stables, his pencil capturing Molly's warm smile and Ava's sultry gaze, symbolizing how they've each carved out a unique place in his affections. Despite the lies holding it all together, the spark for Cody's sudden compulsion to confess likely rises from a soul burdened by relentless deception, with social media sleuths on Facebook theorizing he's especially conflicted between Molly and Ava, particularly after Tracy Quartermain's stern lecture shook him to his core. Tracy, with her no-nonsense wisdom, probably cornered him in the Quartermain living room, dishing out tough love about integrity and the perils of playing with fire. This intervention could be the catalyst, making Cody reflect on how his fabrications are eroding his self-respect. Creatively adding on, maybe Tracy slips him a vintage book on cowboy honor from her collection, its pages filled with tales of redemption that mirror his own struggles and fuel his resolve to come clean. In his budding romance with Molly, Cody has resorted to clever misdirections and alibis to conceal his shady dealings, all while his fondness for her intensifies through stolen moments like late-night walks or helping with her writing projects. These interactions have built a foundation of trust, that's now cracking under the weight of his secrets. Meanwhile, his assignment to charm Ava under Christina's payroll, complete with flirtatious dinners and whispered confidences, evolved into authentic feelings, muddling his sense of duty and desire, inventing a new layer, perhaps a surprise gift from Ava, like a custom saddle emblematic of his cowboy roots, touches him deeply, making the betrayal feel even more personal and heightening his inner conflict. What could be triggering this confession itch right now? It might be the accumulating pressure of his falsehoods finally reaching a boiling point, or perhaps a close call where his cover nearly slipped during a tense encounter. Like an overheard phone call with Christina that almost reached Molly's ears, this mounting stress is shoving him toward action, forcing him to weigh the risks of honesty against the comfort of his current chaos. To creatively enhance, imagine Cody experiencing a vivid dream where both women confront him in a dimly lit bar, their voices echoing accusations that jolt him awake, sweaty and determined to end the charade before it spirals further. Can Cody skillfully maneuver this revelation without severing his ties to Molly and Ava? Or is he barreling toward a devastating downfall? The path to truth is fraught with peril, as baring his soul might salvage one connection, but incinerate the other in a blaze of betrayal. His indecision could stem from fearing the irreversible damage, especially with emotions running so high. Adding an inventive detail, perhaps he drafts two separate confession letters, one tender and apologetic for Molly, the other bold and explanatory for Ava, only to burn them in frustration, underscoring his paralysis in the face of potential loss. The ultimate puzzle is whether Cody can confess selectively, disclosing just the right amount to preserve his shot at happiness with one woman, while clinging to the other, essentially having the best of both worlds without the fallout. Yet, his reluctance is deeply tied to Christina's ironclad hold over him. Those fat payments bind him to the Ava deception like chains. If he unloads everything, Ava's legendary temper could erupt in vengeance, or Molly's shattered trust might close the door on their budding love forever. Creatively expanding, envision Christina dangling more incentives, like a promise of stable work at deception, to keep him silent, but Cody's conscience rebels, picturing a future free from her manipulations, with stakes soaring to dizzying heights. Cody's ethical quandary threatens to upend every bond he's forged in Port Charles. From family alliances to newfound friendships, Christina, ever the schemer, might go to extremes to poison Molly against him, whispering poisoned words that paint Cody as irredeemable. Confessing to Ava, on the other hand, could drag her into a whirlwind of trouble, exposing vulnerabilities she's fought hard to protect. Inventing a fresh element, maybe Cody overhears Christina plotting further schemes at a coffee shop, realizing his silence enables her chaos and spurring him to act despite the risks. Moreover, Cody's potential bombshell could send shockwaves far beyond his personal circle, potentially dismantling Christina's elaborate plot to undermine Ava, and leaving her exposed without a safety net. This revelation might strain her already fragile family dynamics, especially with Molly, as the truth about her manipulative tactics comes to light. Will this force Christina into a corner, prompting a desperate bid for damage control? Given her recent track record of lashing out when cornered, Cody should brace for backlash, perhaps in the form of anonymous threats or sabotaged opportunities that hit him where it hurts. In the end, will Cody's bravery in confessing prove to be his salvation, clearing the path for authentic relationships, or will it exact a heavy toll, costing him the very connections he cherishes? The drama is poised to explode, leaving us all wondering who deserves his honesty first: Ava with her complex allure, or Molly with her sincere warmth. Next, we will delve into the pulse-pounding return of those raw, edge-of-your-seat fight sequences that have always defined the show's thrilling essence, spotlighting Jocelyn Jack's harrowing showdown and the steamy aftermath that's got everyone talking. Port Charles' longest-running soap is reclaiming its crown for delivering gut-wrenching brawls that leave viewers breathless, and the latest episode proves it with a chilling ambush at the exotic Five Poppies Resort. A ruthless hitman, cleverly posing as an unassuming hotel staffer in a crisp uniform, sneaks up on Vaughn and launches a brutal strangulation attack, his grip tightening like a vice round Vaughn's throat as panic sets in. Jocelyn stumbles upon the terrifying scene just in time, her instincts kicking in with razor-sharp precision. She draws her weapon and fires a single, decisive shot that drops the assassin to the floor. But the threat lingers, the wounded killer stirs weakly, prompting Vaughn to grab a nearby pillow and smother him in a desperate bid to end the nightmare once and for all. Inventing a fresh detail, Perhaps Jocelyn's hands tremble slightly as she holsters her gun, the echo of the gunshot still ringing in the opulent suite, mixing with the distant hum of ocean waves outside, underscoring the stark contrast between luxury and lethal danger. In the wake of this high-octane clash, actress Eden McCoy, who brings Jocelyn to life with such fierce authenticity, opened up about the emotional layers her character navigated during those intense moments. McCoy shared insights into Jocelyn's mindset, revealing how the young spy grappled with the raw reality of taking a life for the first time, her usual confidence shattered by the weight of what she'd done. This vulnerability added a profound depth to the scene, showing Jocelyn's human side amid the espionage chaos. To expand creatively, imagine McCoy describing in an extended chat how Jocelyn's training flashbacks played in her mind during the shot. Memories of simulated drills that paled in comparison to the real blood and finality, making her performance all the more haunting. Following the adrenaline-fueled takedown in their lavish hotel room, Jocelyn and Vaughn faced the grim task of discreetly disposing of the body, a covert operation that demands quick thinking and iron nerves to avoid alerting resort security or enemy reinforcements. They might wrap the remains in bedsheets, hauling it through dimly lit service corridors under the cover of night, hearts pounding with every creak of a door. Overwhelmed by the gravity of her first kill, Jocelyn retreats into silence, collapsing onto the shower floor as hot water cascades over her, her expression blank and distant as shock takes hold. Adding an inventive element, perhaps faint bloodstains on her clothes dissolve under the stream, symbolizing her attempt to wash away the trauma, while steam fogs the mirror, blurring her reflection much like her muddled emotions. In a poignant television rarity, Vaughn doesn't bombard her with questions or platitudes. Instead, he simply joins her in the shower, fully clothed, offering silent companionship as she processes the ordeal without a single word exchanged. This quiet solidarity speaks volumes, forging an unspoken bond in the midst of crisis. The moment builds naturally, evolving from comfort to something more intimate, as their shared vulnerability ignites a spark that leads them straight to the bed for a passionate encounter. Creatively enhancing, envision Vaughn gently brushing a wet strand of hair from Jocelyn's face, his touch lingering just a second too long, transitioning the scene from solace to surrender in a way that feels both inevitable and electric. Eden McCoy dished a soap opera digest about this whirlwind progression, emphasizing that their hookup was purely spontaneous, born from the raw heat of the moment rather than any premeditated tension simmering beneath the surface. It wasn't scripted in their stars or bubbling up for weeks, McCoy elaborated, painting a picture of two people caught off guard by their own desires. She highlighted how Jocelyn and Vaughn's dynamic kicked off with mutual antagonist Marky Barbs, and clashing ego spit has since matured into a foundation of earned respect through shared trials, inventing a new layer. Perhaps McCoy recalled a behind-the-scenes rehearsal where the actors improvised subtle gestures, like a knowing nod during a prop fight, to build that evolving chemistry authentically. Since the tragic loss of Dex, Jocelyn has steered clear of romantic entanglements, channeling her energy into rebuilding her life and embracing her new path. McCoy pointed out that both characters maintain formidable emotional barriers, guarding their hearts against further pain after past heartbreaks. Yet, their unexpected kiss back in Port Charles cracked those walls, and now, on Jocelyn's inaugural mission abroad, they've crossed into full intimacy. To add a creative twist, maybe Jocelyn reflects later on how Dex's memory flashed briefly during the embrace, a bittersweet reminder that pushes her toward living in the now, even if it means risking more hurt. McCoy described Vaughn as this enigmatic, brooding figure who loves to tease Jocelyn relentlessly, poking fun at her inexperience or fiery temper, only to flip the script with a sudden, passionate kiss that resets everything to zero. He's all sarcasm and shadows 1 minute, then Bam's pulling her close, she explained, capturing the push-pull that keeps their partnership so addictive. This unpredictability adds layers to their handler-agent relationship, turning professional duties into personal minefields. Expanding inventively, imagine Vaughn cracking a rare joke about her shooting skills post-incident, lightening the mood just enough to bridge the gap from colleagues to confidants. Furthermore, McCoy revealed that Jocelyn has been laser-focused on her espionage role, burying any thoughts of romance deep down to prioritize missions and self-preservation. She's dodging anything personal with him, but curiosity sneaks in during quiet lulls, McCoy noted, suggesting Jocelyn's intrigue bubbles up despite her best efforts to suppress it. This internal tug-of-war makes her character relatable, as she balances duty with dawning desires. Adding a new element, perhaps during a stakeout briefing, Jocelyn catches herself stealing glances at Vaughn's profile, her mind wandering to what-ifs that she quickly shakes off, only for the shower moment to shatter her resolve. McCoy also speculated that without the shared trauma of eliminating the assassin as a team, Jocelyn and Vaughn likely wouldn't have ended up tangled in the sheets. The intensity of the kill acting as a catalyst for their physical connection, that life-or-death collaboration stripped away pretenses, exposing raw emotions that fueled their night together. However, she cautioned with a nod to the classic saying that bonds forged in extreme circumstances often fizzle out, warning that if they're not vigilant about nurturing the emotional side, this fling could crash and burn spectacularly. Creatively concluding, envision a future scene where they awkwardly navigate a debrief, the memory of their intimacy hanging like an unspoken secret, testing whether their intense foundation can evolve into something lasting, or crumble under the weight of reality.